Skadoosh! It's Joey Moss with Bad Boy Gaming, and we are discussing Tarkir Dragonstorm. All the spoilers that were dropped today, and maybe even going a little bit into the past as well, just so some of you can catch up. So starting off with Anafenza, Unyielding Lineage. Legendary creature, Spirit Soldier. Flash, first strike. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, Anafenza endures 2, which means put 2+1/+1 counters on it, or create a 2/2 white spirit creature token. I think I like it as flash, Flash this down, first strike. Kind of cool. But the ability to put like a spirit on the field or, give this a couple +1/+1 counters is pretty neat. Next we have Elspeth Stormslayer. By the way, who's going to be picking up this set? Because the last set was a big failure. I mean, sure, if you hold on to the boxes, sealed, the collector boxes at least, down the road they're going to be worth something because there's a serial numbered card in there to 500. So that's one way to look at it. But as far as like flavor and just playability, the last set was a failure. So who's going to be picking up this new Dragonstorm set? I want to hear if you're going to pass on this one because maybe you have a bad taste in your mouth from the last set. Or maybe, you're hyped because of dragons and all that stuff, and this is kind of more magic-y. If you ask me what I'm seeing so far, it's more magic that we have come to know. The artwork, the flavor, it's not this gimmicky crap they're trying to shove down our throats. What are your thoughts? But this is Elspeth Stormslayer. If one or more tokens will be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. We are generating some tokens, aren't we? 5-drop. +1, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Sure. For 0, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Those creatures gain flying until your next turn. That's kind of cool. She's a 5-drop, though. I always say this. If it was a 4-drop, man, that'd be busted, but it would be, It's -3, destroy target creature and opponent controls with mana value 3 or greater. That's actually pretty neat. It's a great way to get rid of some huge threats on the field, Here's the alternate artworks you can get your hands on. This has a flavor to it. I can't recall the set if it comes to my mind. It was like in the sand or something. I will let you guys know. But this is actually combining a couple sets, like with the look of the cards, the aesthetics. Am I saying that wrong? Yeah. The aesthetics. Ooh, that looks nice. So that's going to be like the sought after version, I would imagine. It's all foiled out in this like cool little look. What are they calling those? I do not know. If anyone knows the name of what they're calling these specific cards, please let me know. Pretty cool though. Next up, we got Voice of Victory. This one, Human Bard, only a 2-drop, but mobilize 2, which means whenever this creature attacks, create 2 tapped and attacking 1/1 red warrior creature token, sacrifice them at the beginning of your next end step. Your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. As you guys know, anything that restricts your opponents from doing something, it usually turns out to be a pretty good card. And based on the fact that this is only a 2-drop, I would say this is one card to keep your eyes on that, it's going to have a good price point. Maybe not right out the gate, but down the road. A few months in, it definitely could. Or right off the gate, right off the bat, This is different. Like they just blacked out all this, the text box kind of. That's kind of cool. It's different. I like it. I give it that. It's a little different. Marang River Regents. It's a dragon. You guys know I love my dragons. So this is a big old 6-drop rare. Coil and Catch for 4. Instant Omen. Draw 3 cards, then discard a card. Interesting. It's not like it's adventure, right? No, I don't see adventure written on that card anywhere. Flying. When this creature enters, return up to 2 other target non-land permanents to their owner's hands. 6/7. Not a bad card. That draw 3 cards, then discard a card. That is a pretty good looting ability built into it. That's going to be a major threat in Limited. That is a bomb in Limited for sure, if I've ever seen one. Here's the alternate arts. But yeah, let me hear your thoughts on these cards, as we go through them. That's kind of funny. This from that, sir. I don't know why I thought that was funny. This is like the nerfed version of it. and then the upgraded version, and then you get the powerhouse version. Sure. Some more looting here. When this this is Roiling Dragonstorm for 2. When this enchantment enters, draw 2 cards and discard a card. When a dragon you control enters, return this enchantment to its owner's hand. So that bounce effect, where you can bounce it back to your hand, as long as you have a dragon entering, that is a pretty cool little ability. Anyone running dragons, especially in blue, you're gonna want this in your build. That's nice. I like that. Nice card draw advantage, and it's not like you got to draw 2 cards and then discard 2 cards. Like some loots do. That one's just draw 2, discard 1. That's not bad. Harmonize. Deuce drop. Ureni's rebuff. Ureni's rebuff. Sure. Harmonize 5 generic and 1 blue. You may cast, what's that? Hold on. Return target creature to its owner's hand for 2. And then Harmonize for 6. You may cast this card from your graveyard for its Harmonize cost. You may tap a creature you control to reduce that cost by X, where X is its power, then exile the spell. Okay. I was like, when I saw X on there, I'm like, you're going to be able to bounce a whole lot of stuff. Are we going to do a Cyclonic Rift on an uncommon? No, it doesn't exactly do that. Sorry, guys. Next up, we got Qarsi Revenant. I'm sure I'm saying that right, So for 1 generic and 2 black, this is a vampire creature. Flying and Death Touch and Lifelink. Wow. That's a lot on one card. It's a 3/3 with Flying, Death Touch, and Lifelink. Remember that, what was that one other vampire? It was a 2/3. That thing saw a lot of play. And all it had on the text, it was Flying, wasn't it Death Touch and Lifelink? Yeah, and that was a powerhouse for 3, and it was a 2/3. This one has Renew built onto it for 3. Exile this card from your graveyard, put a flying counter, a death touch counter, and a lifelink counter on target creature. Activate only as a sorcerer. Wow. Vampire Nighthawk, right? Wasn't that what it was? Yeah, Vampire Nighthawk. This thing just beats the living crap out of that. I mean, you're getting more value out of it. And that Renew effect is pretty neat. Yeah, I give this 2 thumbs up. No wonder why they made it rare. But this is prime time. Power creep in your face. These are good examples of power creep. Sidisi, Regent of the Mire. Deuce drop, legendary creature, Zombie Snake Warlock. Tap, sacrifice a creature you control with mana value X other than Sidisi. Return target creature card with mana value X +1 from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery. That's not too bad. And on a 2-drop, I'd say that's pretty decent. It's not like it has haste or anything, and you can, do this effect immediately, but that's pretty cool. Oh wait, tap second. It is Summoning Sickness, so I would imagine you can't tap it, right? Yeah. No, you cannot. You cannot do that. If you could, this card would be quite the powerful force. Down the road, I'm sure. Give it 5 years, this thing will have haste. Power creep. And here's the blacked out version. I think that's really neat. I do. I like the all blacked out stuff. One of my favorite colors was black. Black's not a color. Whatever. All right, moving along. That's pretty neat. Here is Equilibrium Adept. So for 3 generic and 1 red, it's a creature. Dog Monk. When this creature enters, exile the top card of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play that card. What red does. And then Flurry. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, this creature gains double strike until end of turn. That's kind of neat. But the fact that it's a 2/4, yeah, not the best. And the biggest, if this was a 3-drop, yeah, this would be ran a heck ton more. But it's going to see probably limited play, if you ask me. But hey, I could be wrong about all this. Call me crazy. I could be wrong. Welcome back. Craterhoof Behemoth in the main set, right? Yeah, in the main set, Craterhoof Behemoth is back. We all know Craterhoof Behemoth. It's got some sweet new looks to it, though. I remember recently looking. Well, that art, that looks pretty cool. I like that art. That is slick. Yeah. I recently looked, though, when we cracked a Craterhoof Behemoth in one of the sets I opened recently, and I looked to see, like, when are they going to reprint that? Because the card it's at like $25-30. It's an expensive card. Well, go figure. I hope you sold off your Craterhoofs because it's printed in the main set. It's going to be printed into oblivion here, but I would like that version too. They're doing a bang-up job with the look of this set. You guys, do you agree? Do you disagree? I'd like to hear that. Here's Frostcliff Siege. Oh, yes. As this enchantment enters, choose Jeskai or Teamer. 3-drop. Jeskai, whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. Didn't we already spoil this one? I think we did. Teamer, creatures you control get +1/+0 and have trample and haste. I like that. Pretty darn neat. It's a pretty simple card. I dig it. Ooh, the excitement has begun. Now we are on to a big boy dragon. I am hyped. Here we go. Bitor, kin to all, 5-drop. Spirit Dragon, legendary creature, flying. At the beginning of your end step, if creatures you control have total toughness 10 or greater, draw a card. Okay. Then if creatures you control have total toughness 20 or greater, you better have won the game by then. Have toughness 20 or greater, untap each creature you control. Then if creatures you control have total toughness 40 or greater, each opponent loses half their life rounded up. Wow. It's a 5-drop. I think that was well done. That is a beast of a card. And just think, it's about toughness. So, I mean, you can throw out some, I'm waiting to see the 2-drops that, are like 0-8 walls or some crap like that, or like a 0-10 wall. I'm sure we're going to have some stuff like that in this set. We shall see. But that is a pretty nifty little dragon, if I don't say so myself. I like that. How will it do in Standard? I don't know. Standard's dead, right? Does anyone care? Where's this going to see play? Everything's about Commander, guys. Everything's about Commander. Commander this, Commander that. You want to play, you got to go Commander. All right. Sometimes I go Commando. It's been a while, though. Not bad. I like that card. Rediscover the Way. That's right. 3-drop. It is a saga. Rare. 1 and 2, look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Sure. For 3, whenever you cast a non-creature spell this turn, target creature you control gains double strike until end of turn. That's kind of cool. And it's whenever you cast a non-creature spell. So let's say you got a couple 1-drops in your hand. Maybe it gives +2, +0, +3, +0 to target creature. Sweet. Not only that, because that's how this is going to be used. And then you're also going to give those creatures double strike on top of that, boosted offensive strike. Pretty neat. Okay. And here's the alternate version. Yeah, this is a bang-up job. Looking slick, Watsy. Next up, we got ourselves Mr. Kotis the not Banger this time, Fangkeeper. That's right, this is the Fangkeeper, guys. 4-drop, legendary creature, zombie warrior, indestructible. Whenever Kotis deals combat damage to a player, exile the top X cards of their library, where X is the amount of damage dealt. You may cast any number of spells with mana value X or less from among them without paying their mana cost. That's pretty cool. That is pretty neat. Yeah, I mean, this could definitely be like a control kind of build, too. The only downside is, right, you may cast any number of spells. Oh, any number of spells with mana value X or less. Wow. You could just play their deck. Okay. For a second, I thought it was just creatures. That's pretty neat. But you have to pump this guy up. So you pump him up, and then you swing on in, and you do a heck ton of damage, man. All right. Here's another uncommon. Rakshasas, a bargain. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put 2 of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Mostly, they're probably trying to do some mana fixing here with this. That's to help you, get your hand, your board established, I guess. Because running 3 colors, they're going to need ways to do that. I wouldn't be surprised if we see our friend Wilds in this set. Never heard of it, but I hear it's busted. So that's kind of cool. So that's what that's doing. All-out assault, 5-drop. That's a big boy. Okay. Enchantment. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and have death touch. When this enchantment enters, if it's your main phase, there's an additional combat phase after this phase, followed by an additional main phase. When you next attack this turn, untap each creature you control. Yeah. Well, that's like a game finisher right there. When you swing in that turn, man, you are going to be wrecking the board. You're going to be killing off everything and anything because all your dudes got death touch, unless they got indestructible, your opponent. But that's pretty juicy, man. When you next attack this turn and tap each creature. Wow. Okay. So, yeah, it's like, hey, here's an enchantment. You get 2 main phases, or 2 attack phases, right? Followed by additional main. That's crazy. Both. Additional combat and additional main. Oh, man. And your creature's untap. Yeah, that's pretty devastating. That is pretty devastating. All right, I dig it. Oh, the dragons have arrived, and they're all colorful. They're not just in red. Good. This is only a 4-drop, 4/5. Heart of the Storm, Neriv. Flying. If a creature you control that entered this turn, it's a spirit dragon, by the way, that entered this turn would deal damage. It deals twice that much damage instead. Whoa. There are some powerful cards, man, that when they come down, they deal damage. Then they're going to deal twice that damage. Not only that, but if it has haste and you swing in and it hits, whoa. And then you deal double the damage. And then there's even cards that triple damage and double the double damage. So you would double the double damage while you triple it. Dude, this can get out of hand quick. I like this. That's a way to just, out of nowhere, just blast your opponent with a lot of damage really, really quick. Or not only that, but force them. Like with that other card we just looked at. Like you're forcing them to take, you're forcing them to lose their creatures basically, because otherwise they're taking a lot of damage, and you can only sustain so much, damage. You only have so much life. So you play that with like this guy, same colors. I'm sure they're going to go hand in hand. And yeah, you're putting your opponent in a pretty bad spot. A tough decision right there, man. This is pretty neat. I dig it. This one's okay, but the one I like a lot. I mean, yeah, what's up, dog? They didn't show the other version of that. Oh well, maybe there's another version. Holy smokes. The Song Unending, Spirit Dragon. I love dragons, dude. I'm going to have to pick up a few packs of this, not going to lie. 8-drop. Spirit Dragon. Flying, protection from white and from black. When Ureni enters, it deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and or planeswalkers your opponents control. Or X is the number of lands you control. Wow. This is one of those builds you're just going to want to get a whole ton of lands out, tutor up some lands, whatever the case may be, get some lands. And if you have the advantage, I mean, this is just another win more kind of card, But yeah, that's a fun way to win. It's like Wizards basically just makes a really high casting cost card, and they slap on new ways to win with it. That's basically how it is. All right, I dig it. And here's the other one, the other version. Yeah. I don't really like their showcase frames too much. I don't really care for this. I mean, I like the dragony scale kind of thing. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of Dragon Warrior a little bit. I guess it's all right. It's all right. Ugin, what's up, big boy? I thought we already spoiled you, probably. So here's the Oogster, man. Ugin, Eye of the Storm, 7-drop. I love Ugin. When you cast a spell, exile up to 1 target permanent that's 1 or more colors. +2. You gain 3 life and draw a card. Ugin's always a mess to deal with. It's 0. Add 3 colorless mana. Well, devoid. -11. Search your library for any number of colorless non-land cards. Exile them, then shuffle. Until end of turn, you may cast those cards without paying. Busted! Yeah, Ugin's busted. Ugin's always busted. Dude, busted. And he's colorless, adds colorless. He can, listen to this. He can tutor. He can cheat in cards for free. He can add mana. He doesn't, there's not even a little minus on it. They could have done -1, add 3 colorless. They could have done that on this card even. He can tutor. He can ramp you. He can give you card draw. He can gain life, and he can destroy something. Guys. I'm sorry, exile. And he has a repeat offense on it. That's crazy. And it's 1 or more colors. They didn't make it narrow, like multicolored. No, it's one or more colors. Whenever you cast a color of the spell, exile up to this. That's one or more colors. Dude, this card, too powerful. Is this too powerful? This is like the other Ugin, but like on steroids. I think this is too powerful. I got to hear your. Oh, that's cool. I like all the versions of this one. I got to hear your thoughts. Why do they do that? Let's Nerf and make a baby version of them. That's all cutesy. Why does Wizards got to do that? This is Magic the Gathering. It's supposed to be badass, you know? I get it. They're trying to appeal to the kids. That's the only reason this exists. They're trying to appeal to the kids. You know? I get it. That card's busted. Like, seriously, let me know. Is it too powerful? Eye of Ugin. Or, I'm sorry, Eye of the Storms. Are you too busted? Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon. Oh, yeah, shout-outs to the gamer. If you want to review these cards yourself, all you got to do is go to thegamer.com. Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon. Tap, add a colorless. It's a land. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast a dragon spell or an omen spell. We're going back to omens. 4-drop. Excuse me. 4-drop. Tap, sacrifice this land. Search your library for a dragon card. Reveal it. Put it into your hand, then shuffle. Guess where you're going to run this deck, or guess where you're going to run this card. That's right, a dragon build. Billy got it. Thank Billy in the back. Yeah, you nailed it, dude. Not bad. Fun little utility land. They did it. And they brought him back. That's right. Marsh Flats. It's special guests though. These are gonna fetch a premium. You know, they might be 30 to 45% more expensive than, you know, the modern, you know, versions of them, right? Pay 1 life, sacrifice this land. We already know this. It's a fetchy. So fetch has got the reprint. That is pretty neat. I like the art on both of these. Really, really cool. I dig it. Okay, special guests, they're back. And here's our friend Scalding Tarn, the old fetchy. I'll go over this kind of quick. There's no point to spend too much time on them, but yeah, very nice, cool art. Verdant Catacombs. Now, they did this, WotC's smart. Well, they're getting smart. They're not smart. I mean, a lot of times they're stupid and selfish, you know, and spoiled little brats over there at Wizards of the Moneymaker. But they put them on special guest cards, so it's not a massive reprint. It's just, all right, we've started to see the dollar sign tick up a little bit. Let me show you. Let's just take a look at one of the many reprints of fetchlands. This is from Modern Horizons 2. Over the course of a year, yep, they're like, oh, it's starting to tick up. We can squeeze the equity out of this bad boy. And they are. The price is not really going to dip much on this, if at all. It might come down maybe 5%, if that. But they realized, it's gone up about $5, $6, guys. Time for that reprint. But let's not overload the market. Let's not overwhelm the market too much. You know, just a little bit. And that's where special guest comes in. And as you can see, it's across the board. Here's Modern Masters 2017. Again, about a $5 gain in price from 15 up to about 20, you know. And they're like, halt everything. This card's gained $5 in value. Let's reprint it. But be stealthy. Be sneaky about it. Don't give them too much. Just a little bit. Just a taste. There is your Mesa. Pretty. And lastly, Misty Rainforest. Very, very nice. I always like the colors of Misty Rainforest. Blue and green. They're just pretty. Color my eyes. I know. It's crazy stuff, guys. I know. It's pretty cool. Eerie Ultimatum. Another special guest. Return a number of permanent cards with different names from your graveyard to the battlefield. Along with Inspired Ultimatum is back at it. Oh, this is cool. They did the whole cycle. Emergent Ultimatum for special guests. This is so much. This is like their rendition of the list, but they did it right. They did it with powerful cards, and you don't get them that often. Well, you open a collector box, you might get one special guest, you might get none. That's typically how it's been in past experiences. Is Genesis Ultimatum. So yeah, we will see just how frequent they flow in. This is a little different. Was this for Commander, I'm assuming? Felothar, the Steadfast. I think we've already covered these, but I'll do them really quick. Each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Sure. Creatures you control can attack as though they didn't have Defender, and for 3, sacrifice another creature, draw cards equal to a sacrificed creature's toughness, then discard cards equal to its power. Yep. Yeah, this is all commander stuff, for sure. Here's a Spirit Dragon, Bitor, Ancestor's Voice. Flying and lifelink 3/5. At the beginning of your end step, put a number of +1/+1 counters on up to one other target creature you control, equal to the amount of life you gained this turn. Okay, that could be pretty nuts, pretty bonkers. Return up to one target creature card with mana value less than or equal to the amount of life you lost this turn from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's pretty cool. So a little gain and drain synergy there you can throw in. Elsha, Threefold Master, 3-drop. Trample and Prowess, Jin Monk. It's a 1/1. Whenever Elsha deals combat damage to a player, create that many 1/1 white monk creature tokens with Prowess. Create that many whenever it deals combat damage to a player. It doesn't say like if it's its power. I guess, well, however much power you've dealt, that's how many 1/1 monk. That can get out of hand. Yeah, that's how many 1/1 tokens you'd splash down. Pretty dope. And then we have Shiko and Narset unified. Man, the art on this is pretty. It makes me wish I was rich and I had a lot of money and I can buy up a bunch of these Magic cards because, man, this is giving me that like feeling again. But it's also dragons, and that has a big place in my heart. This is unified. Shiko and Narset. Flying and Vigilance with Flurry. 4/4. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, copy that spell if it targets a permanent or player, and you may choose new targets for the copy. If you don't, copy a spell as way, draw a card. Yeah, she's dope. Oh, I love the art on that one. Some of these I really like the art on. Here's Kotis, Sibsig, Champion, 3-drop. Once during each of your turns, you may cast a creature spell from your graveyard by exiling three other cards from your graveyard, in addition to paying its other costs. Whenever one or more creatures you control enter, if one or more of them entered from a graveyard or was cast from a graveyard, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Kotis. I mean, he can get really big, but it's only him. Right? You know, it's only him. Only he's going to get huge. So this is like the dude you want to throw all your equipment on and make him like this super, beast. I feel like I have spoiled these before, I want to say, but we'll just finish it off. Whenever Taval attacks, mill 3 cards. Then you may return a land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token. Got to have druid on there. That's right. Here's Zergo Stormrender. Did they do him justice? Mobilize 1. Whenever a creature token you control leaves the battlefield, draw a card. If it was attacking. Otherwise, each opponent loses 1 life. That's pretty cool. It's got to be creature tokens. So that dude's, they're just, man, the commanders they make are really, really ingenious, really clever, really nice. Crackling Vanguard, Spirit Dragon, Flying and Death Touch. When it enters, create 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens. When Neriv attacks, exile a number of cards from the top of your library equal to the number of differently named tokens you control. That's pretty neat. During any turn you attacked with a commander, you may play those cards. That is nice. That might be one of my favorites so far. Here's Teemer's Roar. Eshki. 3-drop. Whenever you cast a creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Eshki. If that spell's power is 4 or greater, draw a card. If that spell's power is 6 or greater, Eshki deals damage equal to Eshki's power to each opponent. Man, that's pretty slick. A lot of these are really nice. Oh, look at this big beast. Ureni of the Unwritten. It's got Flying and Trample, Spirit Dragon. Whenever Ureni enters or attacks, look at the top 8 cards of your library. You may put a dragon card from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. It's a Spirit Dragon. Wow. Well, out of all these, I mean, what has been your favorite so far? Let me know. This is looking to be like a really fun, cool set. I hope they do it right. Are there going to be serialized cards? By the looks of things, it doesn't seem that way. It looks like we're going to get these alternate versions of the cards. Like this might be a chase, and also these like foiled out, those are probably your chase cards right there. These ones right here with that border. That'll be similar to like your fractured foil rarity, I would assume. I don't know anything yet though, but yeah, wow, really cool. What's your favorite card? Are you picking this up? Especially if you never comment, let me hear your feedback. It's nice to hear from you guys in the community. Appreciate you tuning in. I'm Joey Moss, Bad Boy Gaming. If you enjoy what I do here, hit the like. If you really enjoy what I do, check out the link in the description for Patreon. And it's a great way to support the channel and keep me afloat to produce more content like this for you guys. Thanks for watching. Skadoosh. Oh, and lastly, it looks like we're going to have some ramping kind of cards here. I mean, all those colors got to have a way to do something, right? So here's Abzan and Devotee, 2-drop. Looks like it's going to be a full cycle. Add white, black, or green. Activate only once each turn. For 3, return this card from a graveyard to your hand. Okay. And then, you got Mardu. It's probably going to be in every color, I would assume. I don't think they have shown all of them yet, but there is, whoops. Let me just, there is this version, 1-drop. When this creature enters Scry 2, and built in for 1, add a red, white, or black. Activate only once each turn. Pretty neat. But it's also not abusable. Sorry, guys. All right, that is all of it. All right, I'm sure we're going to see a lot more kind of, spells that help out and ramp stuff and all types of wackadoodle stuff. Probably more dragons, a lot more dragons. Are we going to see some 1-drop dragons? Are we going to see some 2-drop dragons? Time will tell. All right, really, thanks for watching. Skadoosh.